Hey guys, happy Sunday. This is Satya of Millennial Cure. Millennial Cure is your ultimate cure for Sunday anxiety, and I am absolutely excited to be sharing with you today. Today we're going to be talking about your why, but before I get into that, I really want to just take the opportunity to say thank you to all of you who've reached out to me on and offline, who've been liking, viewing, and just really just sharing your heart with me. You don't know how much it means to me, because putting this together, getting in front of a camera isn't the most natural thing for me to do. It has taken a lot of growing from me. It's taken a lot out of me, and it's been all of the good things that have come out of it. It's only been good. So I thank you, because every time you reach out to me, it just grows me more and keeps me accountable. And I just want to really say thanks, especially to those of you on Facebook who are continuously connecting with me. So I want to start by saying, a few years ago I felt this way, and tell me if you feel this way as well, but I felt like I was drifting along in life. I felt like I was doing the things that I had to do and not the things that I truly wanted to do. I was working, paying bills, I was existing, I was doing all the things that had to be done but really didn't matter, okay? Or didn't matter in the grand scheme of my purpose in life, okay? And I found that when I clarified my why, when I clarified my purpose for existing, for being, I just really was in my optimal connection in life, in mastering my life. I just really connected my purpose, okay, when I found my why. And when you find your why, you'll find that anyhow, you can handle anyhow, okay? So I want to share a little bit about that today, but first of all, I want to share a story with you, okay? I came across Adam Braun's story about 1.5 years ago, and I gotta tell you, it's been, it really touched my heart when I saw his story, and I really wanted to share his story with you, because it isn't just any story, it's a story that is just so significant, and his purpose is just really world-changing. And I'll explain to you why your purpose doesn't necessarily have to be like his, but I think it's important that I share his story because of the impact he's having on the world. His grandparents were Holocaust survivors, and he talks in particular about his grandmother's story, where his grandmother was, they were in a ghetto and they were led in a cattle car to Auschwitz, and she was with 25 other members of her family and her sister as well. And when they got to Auschwitz, what happened was she was led in one direction and the rest of her family was led in the other direction. And that day, all of her family were murdered. Now, some of you may think, oh my God, that, how did she survive that? How did she overcome that? And I don't know if you can ever overcome something like that. And Adam knew that he came from a tremendous legacy. So, Adam, wanting to fulfill his purpose, wanting to really make an impact in society, Adam did a semester at sea. I'm skipping a lot of his story because I know you'll be going and listening to the entirety of his story. But Adam did a semester at sea where, it's a cruise ship and you go to different countries. And as you go to different countries, you get to learn in the different country, but then also Adam decided, what he decided was he was going to speak to at least one child in every country, and he was going to ask them one question. That was, if you can have anything in the world, what would you want? And Adam realized real quickly that his mindset of what children actually wanted wasn't congruent with what they actually did want in some countries, okay? He's thinking, okay, fancy shoes, video games, fancy toys, that sort of thing, okay? And that was not the case for a lot of kids. Adam got to India, and that was where he saw that the poverty level in India was just staggering, okay? He saw that it was just devastating. And he went up to a boy, and this boy just happened to be a street beggar. And he said to the boy, if you can have anything in the world, what would you want? And expecting, of course, the child to say, oh, a fancy house, fancy gadgets, that sort of thing. The boy looks at him and he goes, I'd like to have a pencil. And Adam happened to have a pencil on him, and he handed the boy his pencil because he realized right away that this boy might have been collecting things, but perhaps there was a gang lord or someone who's controlling everything that he collected, and the child probably has never had a day in school or a day to learn, and that just touched him. And Pencils of Promise was born from that. Pencils of Promise has built over 300 schools, and of course Adam has went on to give out millions of pencils all over the world. But I think his mission in life is just so significant. It's amazing, and if you can support anything, I think literacy and education is the one thing that we need to support. But I tell you that story not to think that you have to have a significant why. I think any why is significant, but not that you have to have this world-changing, revolutionary why, because I think a lot of times when we think that we're going to tap into our why, we think that it requires so much out of us. We think that it has to be like an Oprah kind of why, or like an Adam kind of why, but really it doesn't have to be. Your why has to be significant or specific to you, rather. It has to be something that moves you. So whether that's finishing out your degree, whether that's preparing finances for your kids' college education, whether that's helping a family member out, whatever it is, it's valid, and it's absolutely worth you putting yourself out there, okay? So what finding your why will do, it will eliminate all of the noise from your life. A why will really give you clarity of purpose. Because really, when you think about it, when you don't have clarity of purpose, all of that noise just gets permeated in your mind, and that really affects you. It affects your body, it affects how you function, it affects a lot. That's why you need clarity of purpose. Because, you know, I do acupuncture, and this week that I did traditional Chinese acupuncture, usually I do kinesiology, and kinesiology is really about balance in acupuncture. And I had a new acupuncturist, and the thing that he told me a lot of personal things about what perhaps I was thinking and how it was affecting my body and the way I function. And I really have to tell you that when you're in alignment in your life, and your mind and your heart align, then everything else will fall into place. You'll be happier, you'll be more productive, a lot more will come to you. You'll eliminate all of the blessing blockers, let's put it that way. Okay, your why is valid. There isn't anything that should be stopping you. Now, when I think back of where I came from, you know, I had a totally different why than Adam. You know, when I first came to this country, I was 17 years old, and I started working right after I came here. I started working 5 days after I came to America, and I worked in New York. I actually worked in the Bronx, in Fordham. I worked in Queens and the Bronx. I worked 7 days a week, and at one point in time, I was working 5 days a week in the Bronx and 2 days a week in Queens. It was the same company, and you know, I'm blessed to have that experience, but at the time, it wasn't the easiest thing for me. It was a 4-hour-a-day commute, and I worked on Fordham in an army building, and of course I was the epitome of innocence and naivety. So going there and working in that building, I had no idea where I was and what I was doing, but I was the only one in the office, the only one running the office, and at that age I realized really quickly that maybe this wasn't the safest thing to do, because I was in that office and I didn't have any contact with anyone coming into the office. The only thing that separated me from everyone coming into the office was a really thick bulletproof glass. And I remember thinking one day, and my uncle really just saying to me, you know, what are you doing? You know, is this what you want to do with your life? And, you know, I really just came to a realization, and although that served its purpose in my life at the time, I really came to a realization that that was not what I wanted to do. And needless to say, I did that job because, you know, my parents and I had to exist. We had to pay the bills. We had to do whatever it takes. We lived in an attic at the time, and we just had to survive. And my mom didn't work for the first couple of months, and you know, I had to go out there and make it happen. And you might be in that situation as well. Perhaps you were in that circumstance, but I just want to encourage you to not let your circumstance become you. Do not allow your circumstance to become the center of your world. Let your purpose rather become the center of your world. Let your why become the center of your world, because you're valid and you're worth it. And nothing else will matter but accomplishing it. And I'm telling you, in the process of accomplishing those things, you will find that you find the most happiness in the process of accomplishing that. And so guys, that's it for today. This has probably been a really long one, but I want to encourage you, if you do anything, I'm going to leave my link to my my blog below, but if you do anything, I want you to go ahead and take a look at Adam's website, because his purpose is just so tremendous, and the mission that he stands for is just noteworthy, but it's worth getting involved in. And I'm just absolutely excited about it. So definitely just go ahead and take a look at that. But I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And with that, we'll talk again soon. Have a great one now. Take care.